Hello viewers, here is what looks like Hampton Bay's Littleton ceiling fan. I don't know if this is actually the Hampton Bay branded model or if this is one of the many look-alike models that were sold under a different brand over the years. There's a reason why I like these, and these are very important fans in my collection. I'm not going to get into that in this video. This is just going to be the testing video. It's a fairly run-of-the-mill average fan. It's a very budget-oriented model. It is a 42-inch model. The blades are reversible to, I believe it's a bleached oak. And it has one light. I am fairly certain it's a 60-watt maximum in there. And it is 3-speed reversible. This one's relatively new because the pull chains are silver and so are the screws, whereas the older models were the, in my opinion, much nicer looking brass finish. So let's turn the thing on. We'll start with the light. And there's a light bulb in there. It's probably some kind of piece of junk, energy saving, and there's not enough quotes in the world to go around that phrase, light bulb. But it works just fine. And let's go ahead and start it up on high. It does have a startup sound, which we will capture after the demonstration. This is drawing a whopping 42 watts or 0.35 amps, and something is making a sound, and now it is not, and now it is again. Well, anyways, whatever. So in regards to the airflow, for a cheap fan drawing 35 watts, I will say that I find the airflow quite decent. In fact, as a whole, I find this to be a very satisfactory product, and I'm going to explain that so we don't have an outburst about that opinion. These fans, they used to retail for all of $16. I don't know what they are now. I think they're substantially more than that. I think they're more like $26 or $30. But the purpose of a fan is to move the air around and make you feel more comfortable. This moves the air around and makes you feel more comfortable. Now, if you're on a limited budget, which I understand that is a real thing in my world, and you only have a small quantity of money and you go out to the store and you need to buy a fan because it's hot and you're uncomfortable and this is what you can afford, and you buy this and you hang it in your house, it's going to serve a purpose and make you feel more comfortable. It may not last for 50 years, it may not be particularly quiet, but it's going to work. I have a hard time degrading a product that serves a purpose. Now, of course, on the counter, I would also argue that those $26 or whatever it is much better spent at a thrift store or some other secondhand store on a vintage fan that's quality. But not everybody is the handy type, and I would argue that most people nowadays don't want to go out to a store, buy something used, have to tear it apart, clean out who knows how many years of someone else's dust, perhaps find different parts from somewhere to make it complete and usable, or replace bearings and do things like that. And so if you're not the handy type, you buy this. And you know what? It works. And it serves the purpose. So you can go around and get in my comments box and write stupid things like, "That's a worthless piece of garbage. You should throw it off a building." And if you want to do that, that's a completely non-intellectual thing to say, because I just prove that it has value. Anyways, I just had to get that out there because the quantity of non-intellectual entities that have been cresting the threshold in my comments box recently is a little bit disheartening. So anyways, with that rant aside, and I know it's not going to actually cut down on the number of non-intellectual comments. It's probably going to make them go up. I realize that, but I just wanted to say that. So, with that being said, look at the blade of the fan under it. It is shaking from the airflow. Look at the light. It is swaying from the airflow. It really does move a decent amount of air. There is a steady and refreshing stream of air under this fan. And there's also an annoying noise, but again, this is, it's cheap. You can't expect it to be as quiet as that fan would be, or as that fan would be. But it's moving air, it's making you feel more comfortable, and it's serving its purpose. Let's go down medium. At medium, it is drawing 0.29 amps or 33 watts. And I don't really understand what the power factor is, so I don't usually talk about it. But for those that are curious, this thing is claiming the power factor is 0.95. And it's not moving as much air as it was on high, obviously, but there is still a breeze under the fan. And if it was hot in your house and you were sitting under or near this, it would make you feel more comfortable. Let's go down to low. And it actually, aside from that clicking sound, which would drive me through the roof, it's actually relatively quiet. It doesn't have a lot of weird noises to it, and it doesn't have a lot of motor hum or anything like that. And I think that noise is just something with the light globe. It could probably be stopped. So it's still drawing 0.29 amps, 30 watts. So the value of dropping it down to low is not there. You might as well use it on medium. Power factor is 0.87 now. And as you can see here, the air is still moving, albeit gently. It's still moving air. Now, if this was over a bed, this would be satisfactory, at least for my preference, to keep me cool during the night. I'm going to put it back up to high, so for those that are curious, you can see what the power factor is on high. That's only pulling 35 or 0.35 amps, so really it's a 0.5 amp difference or 0.6 amp difference. You don't really benefit from using it on the slowest speeds, if you will, in terms of like power draw and efficiency wise. Power factor is 0.99. So from my understanding, which is again not complete, of the power factor, a higher number is more efficient. So if that's correct, at least in some sense, it's getting 0.99. It seems to be doing relatively well. So now I'm going to switch it off, and unfortunately the furnace has turned on now. Well, that's not unfortunate, I guess that's kind of a good thing, but now there's noise in the background. And I'm going to try to capture the startup sound, because it does actually have one. And I know this is a very terrible thing to do, but I'm going to do it anyways for the sake of saving myself the time of having to edit the video. And here we go. And that was the light. Okay, it's time to go to sleep. Alright, hopefully that was able to capture the startup sounds. If it didn't, I'll have to do another video later when it's not cold out so the furnace isn't on. There's a blurry overexposed view with the light on. You should never record ceiling fans with the light on. And that's going to be it for this one. Thank you for watching. The comments box is open and it's ready to capture all the rude comments about this fan. Hopefully there's some constructive ones as well, because that's really the only ones I'm interested in.